Welcome. In this video, we're going to explore the history of English literature, not just as a list of names and dates, but as a timeline of ideas, styles, and voices that shape the language and culture we know today. Whether you're a student, a literature enthusiast, or someone curious about how English writing has evolved over centuries, this will give you a clear foundation. We'll move step by step from Old English to modern times, understanding not only what was written, but why it was written that way. Let's begin. Old English period, 450 to 1066. English literature begins with Old English, a form of the language that sounds very different from what we speak today. This period gives us works like Beowulf, an epic poem about heroism, monsters, and fate. Most literature here was oral, passed down by word of mouth, and deeply influenced by Norse and Germanic traditions. Writing was limited, and themes mostly focused on religion, war, loyalty, and survival. Middle English period, 1066 to 1500. After the Norman conquest in 1066, French influence changed both the English language and its literature. Writers began to explore more human experiences: love, morality, religion, and humor. Geoffrey Chaucer, the Canterbury Tales, stands out in this era, captured everyday people and their stories in a mix of poetry and wit. English became more recognizable in this period, though still quite different from modern English. The Renaissance, early modern period, 1500 to 1660. This was the golden age of English literature. Think of Shakespeare, Marlowe, Spenser, and John Donne. The Renaissance brought a rebirth of learning, art, and curiosity about human nature. Plays, poetry, and essays flourished. Themes shifted from pure religious to more philosophical and personal: love, power, ambition, beauty, and mortality. Shakespeare's work especially reflected the complexities of human soul. Number 4. The Neoclassical or Restoration period, 1660 to 1798. After years of civil war and upheaval, writers now focused on order, reason, and clarity. This was the age of satire, logic, and criticisms. Writers like Alexander Pope, John Dryden, and Jonathan Swift emerged. Gulliver's Travels is a famous example. It is a fantasy but also a sharp critic of the politics and society. During this period, writers wanted to correct and improve society, often through humor and restraint. 5. The Romantic period, 1798 to 1837. Romanticism was a reaction to the rules of the Neoclassical age. Writers turned to nature, emotion, imagination, and the individual spirit. Poets like William Wordsworth, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, Shelley, Keats, and Byron all believed poetry should come from deep personal feeling. They focused on beauty, memory, dreams, and returned to simplicity, and often wrote as a form of protest against industrialization and materialism. 6. The Victorian period, 1837 to 1901. Named after Queen Victoria, this era was marked by rapid industrial growth, empire, and social change. Writers responded to a fast-changing world. Novels became the dominant form, and authors like Charles Dickens and Bronte sisters, Thomas Hardy, and George Eliot explored society, class, family, and mortality. Literature became a tool to raise awareness about poverty, gender inequality, and the complexity of human experience. Number 7. The Modern period, 1901 to 1945. After World War I, writers began to question everything. The world felt broken, uncertain, and so did literature. Writers like T.S. Eliot, Virginia Woolf, James Joyce, and W. Yeats experimented with style, structure, and language, stream of consciousness, symbolism, and fragmentation became common. The goal was no longer to entertain, but express the chaos and reality of modern life. Number 8. The Postmodern and Contemporary Period, 1945 to today. Postmodern literature continues to challenge boundaries. It embraces diversity, complexity, and even absurdity. Writers from different backgrounds, post-colonial, feminist, global, began to shape the identity literary landscape. These include identity, technology, war, memory, and meaning itself. There's no singular style here. Noble's poetry plays or reflects a wide range of voices, often breaking traditional rules. The history of English literature is not just about books. It's about how people thought, felt, and saw the world in different times. Each period added something new, a perspective, a form, a voice, helping shape the English language and culture we live with today. Whether you're studying for an exam or just exploring, knowing this journey gives you a deeper appreciation for every story, poem, or line you read. Thanks for watching. And if you found this helpful, free to like, share, or subscribe for more simple breakdowns of complex topics.